Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Brick and mortar businesses are making a comeback. It's a very important thing to consider. And I'm not just saying this lightly. Anybody paying attention to the news seeing that these tech companies are laying off a lot of people. And really, there was a time everybody think, oh, it's online. But one of the problems is people don't look at something holistically. They'll see one trend, but they ain't seeing what's causing the trend. Because what's causing the trend, if something happens with that, then it affects the trend. In this case, people were going online because of the lockdowns. It was the only way they were going to shop. People were scared to go out. Now that you have more and more people coming out, you have the vaccines or the shots for COVID and everything, and that's under control to the point it's going to become more of a seasonal thing, limited to only a few people. I mean, it's not going to go away, but because of that, because of the controls in place, people going out more. They simply going back out. And yes, there were a lot of businesses that closed, but you have a lot of businesses that are open. In fact, I remember on this channel a few years ago during just the part where people were coming out of the lockdowns, I said, there's a lot of businesses closing. But what I'm starting to see is there's a lot of businesses opening. And then I had an associate, shout him out, the Equalizer. He provides me with a lot of financial information and trends and everything. And he was providing me something on Gen Z. Gen Z definitely uses online, but they also like to go out. And the bottom line is this. See, here's the thing. People want to interact. They want to deal with other people. Like one of the things, I'll use the example of when during the lockdowns, I went out every single day. I purposely, since grocery stores were open and home improvement stores were open, guess what I did? I wouldn't stock stuff in my, only thing I would stock was toilet paper. Everything else, I would just buy enough for that day so I would have an excuse to go out because it was tough. Supposedly, cops would pull you over if you out and weren't supposed to be. I said, if a cop pulled me over, I said, yo, man, I got to go get something to eat. You want to follow me home and see my fridge? Seriously. So I had an excuse to go out. And, of course, walking and everything. But one of the things I noticed, since the home improvement stores are still open, that was like the spot. That was like the spot. And people were going in there taking their time for stuff. Usually people go in a home improvement store and just buy what they need and leave. Oh, people were meandering in there and, still talking. People kept their distance, had their mask on. But that just showed that people want to interact. And see, part of brick and mortar businesses are this. You get to interact. You get to look at stuff. You get to try on stuff. Like the clothing thing. One of the things, it's rare that I've done it. And even then, I'll be taking a chance. But I bought a few things offline as far as clothes. And even then, I bought them off of Amazon, and trust me, I was ready to take them back as soon as possible. In fact, that was happening a lot with a lot of online sales. People were taking stuff back or shipping it back or something. Because one of the things, if you're talking about clothing, you need to try them on. A size 12, like a size 12 shoe. It could be a size 12 medium, but depending on the shoe, one could be very loose and comfortable. The other one could be very tight. It's the same thing with shirts, clothes. I'm a big dude. I wear XXL, XXL. I could wear, actually, I'm going to tell you what, depending on the cut, there's some stuff I got to wear XXL, some stuff I can get away with wearing XL. It all depends on the cut, but how you going to find out? And plus, there's a lot of social stuff just buying clothes. A lot of social stuff. When I was working retail, I remember I was working for this small retail place. I remember the owner saying, it's a show. She said, it's a show. It really is. And then when I was working at a major department store, the manager said that. He said, it's the show. Showtime. He said, it's a show. Part of the thing is when people go out, they interact. In fact, when I was working at the large department store, we had quite a few customers who, they just came in there for social reasons. They didn't really buy much. There was more than a few that would just come in look at stuff, and you just talk with them. It was rare they would actually buy stuff. They would just go in there just to have something to do, to have somebody to talk to. In fact, at the gym I work out at, we got some people that come in there, some older people who come in there. They don't really work out hard. They don't work out. They do some stuff, but they don't work out hard. They're there for social reasons. Understand something. One of the things with all brick and mortar businesses is people get to interact. Now, I'm just talking about the retail places selling clothing. What about everything else? That's one of the things with clubs. With clubs, bars, places like that, coffee shops, people get to interact. Because there's a basic, and this is something to always remember in business. People have a need to interact. Indeed, there's been some studies that say many people were hurt by the lockdowns because they didn't interact with people. We have a need. Everybody has a need. Some people there's very few people who are truly comfortable just being insulated. And usually the ones that are, they really not comfortable. They will prefer to be around others, like-minded. We have a need. This is more scientific. Our bodies actually respond to being around people. They can put trackers on your body, electrodes or something, and it can track how your hormones, your body systems are operating, just being around other people. That's how deep it is. The brick and mortar businesses represent that. Like just walking through the mall or something. You know, going to a restaurant and having a server be nice to you. All of that. Now, I know a lot of people say the online thing is, but see, that's what's happening with all these tech. That's what's happening with all these tech things. People are they not going online to buy like they used to. At least the older generations. Younger people are, but they not totally into it. That's part of it. But then they like to try on that thing, like trying on the clothes, eat, hang out, see people. Because that's one of the things, and that's throughout human history. Some people are saying, "Oh, it's over," but I'm seeing because I always pay attention. Anybody who follow me know I just walk through malls and everything. It's not always fun because Rom got some business ideas. So anyway, yeah, one day, if all I do is pull the trigger, and I'll have a bunch of kiosks across the county, maybe across the country, franchise it. Anyway. Hey, look, they are making a comeback. It's something to pay attention to, especially if you have an idea for a brick and mortar business. You just have to have a good location. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for now. Y'all know the deal. Especially if you own a brick and mortar business or want to start one, let's go make that money.